Welcome back to the Michigan Business Beat, brought to you on the Michigan Business Network. Chris Holman here, and we are in our downtown studios. Actually, we're all over the place because there is no studio location anymore. I am sitting in our studios in downtown Lansing, but we're going to go to someone you're very familiar with from his Leadership Lowdown broadcast here on the Michigan Business Network, Vic Verchereau. Vic, it is so good to see you again. How you doing?
It's great to see you, Chris. Thanks so much for giving me a chance to be with you. And it's always a pleasure and an honor to be a part of the Michigan Business Network.
Well, I got to tell you, you bring a lot to the Michigan Business Network, and you're doing it again. So this is kind of a Vic, welcome back again to the Michigan Business Network. You saw a need, and we totally agreed with your identification of that need to promote bigger, I guess, in a better fashion than we've been doing, that tourism industry, which has been through nothing short of a devastating year. And so time to give them a boost anyway, but at this time in particular. Tell me a little bit about it and the name of your show.
Yeah, well, thanks, Chris. It's exciting for me. We didn't know what to call it, so we just came up with Michigan Corners. And because I think at every corner in Michigan, there's something really cool going on. There's something really great to see, and it's special. And my passion for this is really twofold. I love two things. I love to talk leadership, which is why the Leadership Lowdown is such a blessing for me to be a part of. And I love to talk about Michigan. I consider myself to be one of Michigan's ambassadors. I'll humbly take that along with anybody else that wants to be a cheerleader about Michigan and all things Michigan. So when I was discussing this and trying to figure out what would be helpful to the beleaguered travel industry here in Michigan, what could we do? Well, one of the things that happened is, frankly, we've had some real tough times, and that's really hard for us because Michigan tourism / travel is all a part of the top three industries. So you have agriculture, you have manufacturing, and you have tourism. Those are the big three. That drives the economic engine here in Michigan. And that's why when I think about the Michigan Business Network, we need to make sure we're properly representing that large element of all things: meetings, festivals, travel, tourism, conferences, all that stuff. And so that's why, to me, having this show and your support is really, really grateful, because I think it's the beginning of something really fun, really big, and really important for Michigan.
Well, and as I look at the, I guess, from genesis to the maturation of Vic Verchereau, when you follow your career, your stint for many years at Farm Bureau put you right in the middle of that agricultural piece of our economy. And like you say, leadership was a big part of that. That's what you've always talked about. And of course, now you've always traveled the state and plotted the state. You may not know this, but at one time, for many years, I was on the board of and chaired the Greater Lansing Convention and Visitors Bureau. So I'm aware of this industry. And when you came forward, I said to myself, this is right on. This is somebody we have to support, and especially now. So, boy, you're doing God's work right now, Vic.
Well, I appreciate that, Chris. And, and because you've been there, what's so important. Interesting enough, I used to be involved with a program. It was about 750 room nights that would go into Grand Rapids typically. And I was told by the Lansing Convention and Visitors Bureau that little 2-day conference was worth basically economic boost $1.5 million. And I'm like, you got to be kidding me. That's incredible. And so when I think about what we can do by bringing back our conferences, our meetings, by celebrating festivals and making sure that the whole beautification of Michigan is there and well known around our state. I love to make millions of ambassadors for Michigan so we can tell the world about this great state and make sure that we bring back the economic opportunity that goes with it.
And of course, we're going to put you into some of our relationships with the MFEA, which is the Michigan Festivals and Events Association, that people never give the credit for what they do economically for these little towns.
And so much of that, Chris, is volunteer work. Excuse me, festivals do not happen without a legion of volunteers, and that's dedicated people to the families or to the communities and to the organizations that are making those things happen. So I'm just jacked about what's going on here and the opportunity that we have to talk about Michigan, because it is truly a gem in this country. It's one of the most beautiful states, and by far it has so much going for it. We just got to get organized and tell the world.
I have to tell you, because we have now a daughter-in-law who grew up in the Boston area, which is a wonderful area.
Yeah.
When we bring her here, she's like, "Oh, I didn't know that. Oh, I didn't know that." We put her up and took her kayaking out to the Pictured Rocks so she could see that, and all the, and Lake in the Clouds, and
Yeah.
just, I mean, there's so many things here. You're just scratching the surface wherever you are. Listen, I just want to re-welcome you to the network, and thank you so much for this new program you're bringing us. And we got to love convention and visitors bureaus, because they bring people to town who spend money, go away. If they've had a good experience, they come back. This is the best case scenario.
That's absolutely right, Chris. Thanks so much for your support. Thanks for all the listeners that make Michigan Business Network such an important part of the Michigan business scene. Appreciate it very much, Chris.
Well, thank you for being part of it. Vic Verchereau and his new show, Michigan Corners. I'm Chris Holman. You are watching the Michigan Business Beat on the Michigan Business Network. We'll be right back.